Alright. Jom kita check kita punya live streaming. Oh, yeah. Sudah. Kita check live streaming dekat Facebook.
Dia ada berapa delay tu?
About 3 second. Facebook lambat sikit. Oh. Okay, dah keluar dah. Okay. So tiba-tiba senyap je kan. Tak best lah. Iqbal, are you okay?
Yeah,
Oh, check it.
no, just like a lot of people message.
Yeah. Check watch me on my channel.
Nampak tu ada.
Okay. Boleh. Alright. So insyaAllah kita akan start in 3 minutes. Okay. Alida, kalau nak tanya je. Tak puas hati cakap. Kalau rasa macam nak pindah universiti, nanti beritahu lah. Kita boleh usahakan.
Edit je nanti kan.
Ya.
Lecturer dia dengar.
Saja dia bakar.
Tuan lah.
Yeah. Alright. So Iqbal, you are in college now?
Yep.
Quarantine?
Nope.
No.
I've never experienced quarantine.
Oh, like cocky.
I have always thought to put it.
Almost last word.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, Elida dah vaccinate? Dah dapat vaccination?
Only my first dose. Second dose at the end of the month.
Okay, UiTM semua dah lah. Okay. Alright, kita tengah tunggu. 1 minit, 2 minit ni rasa panjang kan? Bila tunggu ni macam exam lah. Nak tunggu exam tu sebenarnya lama, tapi bila dah masuk dalam exam tu, sekejap lah. Okay.
Kenapa makin kuat bunyi background tu? Ada kereta api lalu.
We know who was the culprit. Elida. Paling bising.
Ada noise.
Dia duduk dekat stesen kereta api tu.
Tak. Kat sini memang malam-malam bising sikit.
Ya, kita dah ada super fan kita. Syam Zamir dah masuk. Okay, ni semua geng-geng kita di UM lah. InsyaAllah kita teruskan. Okay, kita buat countdown kot. Jom kita buat countdown sebelum kita start. Bagi dalam 30 saat. Cukup tak? 30 second lah. Okay, let's go. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat datang ke Medicine Malaya Podcast. Hari ini saya dengan kawan-kawan akan berbincang mengenai kehidupan sebagai seorang pelajar perubatan. So kita jemput semua guest kat luar tu, yang mendengar tu semua, kita boleh interaksi lah, sama ada nak komen di Facebook ataupun di YouTube boleh. Nanti kita akan jawab dan kita akan layan lah, insyaAllah. So bersama-sama kita pada malam ni adalah kawan saya, Dr Nazri daripada radiology. So saya kenal dia lama dah daripada medical school dulu. So dan bersama-sama kita adalah 2 tetamu khas. Satu daripada UM. Saya kenalkan doktor pula, belum lulus lagi, belum dapat. Saya kenalkan saudara Iqbal Sanaf, pelajar perubatan tahun 3 Universiti Malaya, dan kawan dia saudari Elida Arina daripada UiTM tahun 3. So kita jemput semua. Selamat datang pada semua. Thank you for coming to this platform. So saya minta Dr Naz cuba cerita sikit lah secara ringkas lah background as daripada medical student dan apa jadi sekarang.
Okay. Hi, thank you for having me. Nama saya Nazri ya. So saya masuk asasi sains hayat 98, SPM 97, masuk asasi hayat 98. Lepas tu masuk medik, graduated in 2004 and kerja sebagai houseman dekat PPUM for a while, jadi MO sekejap, lepas tu buat masters, graduated 2010 and jadi radiologist sampai sekarang. So itulah kisah hidup saya.
Okay, so saya kenal Dr Naz daripada medical school lagi. Saya senior dia 2 tahun lah. So saya graduate 2002 dan kita ada banyak lah buat aktiviti di college dulu. So nanti kita akan cerita di segmen akan datang lah. Alright, so saudari Arina. Okay, Arina, cuba cerita sikit Arina. Latar belakang sikit.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Thank you for having me. So my name is Elida Arina. Boleh panggil Elida. Prior to med school, I was in Pasung and sekarang in UiTM third year student.
Okay, so kita pergi ke Iqbal pula. Iqbal.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat malam everyone. My name is Iqbal Sanaf. I'm a third year medical student in Universiti Malaya, and prior to that, I was also in Pusat Asasi Sains Universiti Malaya before joining medicine.
So both you and Elida knows each other daripada dulu lah, daripada medical school. Daripada asasi.
Yeah. Before this, we were actually both GTKs or the student committee in Pasir.
Okay. Alright. And kita boleh tanyalah kepada panel kita. Dr Nazri lah. Kita start dengan Dr Nazri.
Yo, okay.
Okay, Naz, kenapa ambil medik dulu? Why you in this?
Why medicine?
Yeah, why
I
medicine?
think anyone who's a close friend of mine dah dengar cerita ni banyak kali. But okay. So the story is daripada sekolah dulu orang tanya nak jadi apa. My default answer, I like science. So my default answer, in my heart I wanted to say scientist. But honestly at that age I didn't even think that being a scientist was a real job. Nampak macam scientist ni macam sci-fi movie je ada. So nampak macam people just defaulted and say dia nak jadi doctor. Sounds sciencey to me, so I just said I'm jadi doctor lah. And that kind of followed through, and I found stuff like biology and sciences dekat STM level quite easy. So in the end, me and another friend from school chose to just do medicine. Masuk asasi dulu, it was a gamble, tak tahu lagi dapat medicine ke tak. And then in the end, we alhamdulillah both got into medicine at UM.
Okay.
So it was just because I like science, that's all.
Okay, so kita pergi ke saudara Iqbal lah. Iqbal, kenapa ambil medik Iqbal? Tak menyesal ke?
Well, there's a funny story which I want to tell, and there's another serious story which I think are two main reasons why I actually chose medicine. Ideally, I think I started getting an interest to. I really like science. Like from Dr Nazri said just now, I was really into science, and that was one thing I knew that I wanted to dive into. Like Dr Nazri also, I think I really did wanted to become a scientist also. But again, I later on, when I found out there was no such occupation as without a specific field, I was bummed out. But then a big inspiration for me is actually from my grandma. I have no close relative which was in the medicine field except for my grandma. She was a nurse, and she would always complain to me saying, "Yeah, the doctors were strict. They were like really mean to nurses or patients back then." But now it's like I thought, it's like, hey, that's cool. But then one time I saw her save somebody on the street, like doing CPR and stuff like that. I thought, and
Wow.
the guy was really grateful for it. So I thought, hey, that's something I think I want to do for the rest of my life. And then here we are now.
Oh.
And that's a big contribution to why I want to become a doctor.
Okay, that's a nice
But
story to listen to. And how about Elida? Kenapa nak jadi doktor?
I think I've always been macam fascinated with how the human body works. Macam like Dr Nazri, I wanted to be a scientist, but macam you know how like everyone says like the macam tak ada job like that. So macam yeah, I think that's it. Nothing special macam Iqbal's incident or anything. Just like the want to learn. Yeah.
Memang nak jadi doktor lah.
Mm.
Okay. Nah, okay. I nak jadi robotic engineer. Lepas tu
We're doing an awful job.
So instead of robotic engineer, masuk medicine. Sebenarnya tak dapat pun masuk medicine, dapat masuk dentistry. So kena orientate dekat dentistry seminggu. You know how di apa sesi suai kenal kan kat sana. So lepas minggu dapat offer masuk medik. So okay. And then jadi try jadi doktor lah. Lepas tu try to find my way. So at the end jadi jugalah robotic engineer but fixing the brain as a neurosurgeon. Okay, alright. So kita tanya Elida lah. Elida, macam mana belajar dekat aktiviti belajar di UiTM sekarang?
Currently sebab COVID, it's very limited. Usually like we would get the chance to go to, we would be placed dekat Hospital Sungai Buloh, Selayang and Teluk Intan for ONG. But sekarang with the current situation, macam we can only use like the facility in campus, which is HUITM Sungai Buloh. And more to like the faculty provides like simulated patients. Only sometimes macam we get real patients. Macam tu je lah.
Okay. So kalau pergi hospital Sungai Buloh kena pakai full PPE semua?
Oh tak. With current situation, we're not allowed to go to hospital lah.
Okay, semua on site tapi dekat campus UiTM?
In the campus tu.
Okay, alright. So these are the difficult times lah. Iqbal?
Well, for us in we actually can go to hospital because I think macam Sungai Buloh is one of the COVID centers, like national infectious disease centers. We, on the other hand, is like a tertiary level hospital. So we can still go to the hospital right now. I'm currently posted in pediatrics. So we still go. But right now there was an outbreak. So right now we're trying to hold back from going until next week. So but before this I was in surgery and I was in ENT and eye. So I had the whole clinical sessions in the hospital, the wards, the OTs, and the clinics. So I think, but there were more restrictions than normal. We would, as free as we were to find patients, we couldn't go without supervision. I think that's the post. I mean, I wouldn't say post. I mean, intra-COVID period where. We can't actually go as much as we would like to, but still there's some exposure.
So kena pakai full PPE Cuba cerita sikit apa yang full PPE pakai.
Alright, so basically there are some sections where whenever a new patient comes into the ward, they actually have to be screened and also swabbed first for the COVID virus. Those patients are placed in the isolation rooms.
No,
So
yeah,
whenever
no,
you
I mean you as a student, you pergi ward.
right.
Pakai apa?
So what I have my trusty face shield and my surgical mask, and also sometimes right now I've started practicing double masking with a cloth
Okay.
mask, so just for an extra protection. And I usually wear my full scrubs
So
because
tak
the
pakai
white coat is a bit because they were labeled as a health risk because of the being in contact with fluids and stuff like that.
I see. Elida ada scrub suit ke sana? Pakai scrub ke? Tak lagi.
Ada tapi we don't wear
Okay.
it macam
Alright.
normally. Yeah.
Okay. Iqbal ada cerita itu, dia kata kalau lab coat tu dia nak naikkan jadi bendera putih. Kehidupan di college yang terdesak mungkin. Nanti kita share sikit lah, cerita sikit kan. Okay. So Naz, as a teacher, how's life?
During COVID?
Yes. Before and after, before and now lah.
Well, as a teacher, dia masa COVID now, we can't have the face-to-face sessions that we would like. You know, there's a limit. Macam radiology, the training ideally is many students in one room, and then we show stuff, practice stuff and all that. We can't have that anymore, so we have to go online. And because they're online, the exams are still face-to-face. So the problem with that is they don't have the stress of exam during practice sessions. So they've told us this, and don't know what to do lah. I mean the only way is just control your nerves, because sitting behind a computer talking to your teacher, how to answer questions and all that is totally different daripada exam when you have to be face to face. Classically, you can train that face to face. Tapi tak boleh nanti the first time they have the stress is masa exam tu, and some people make it, some people don't, but that's unfortunate lah. I think it's a bit like you punya, I don't know how it is for you guys surgeons kan. I mean, you certainly cannot teach certain things remotely at all kan.
Yeah.
And I don't know, ward rounds, you still have that? Do you still teach students how to palpate and do all that stuff? Or do they have to just read books nowadays? So I don't know.
Okay. So pergi ward ni ada risiko juga kan, Iqbal?
Yeah.
So
a lot of risk.
So kalau dulu kata hospital tu is a safe place, now hospital is a dangerous place. Because COVID is everywhere. Luckily dah dapat vaccination kan? Elida dah dapat vaccination lah?
Yeah. Only first dose tu.
Okay, at least there's a some form of immunity situ. And Iqbal dah complete dah?
Yeah, I completed around like 2 months ago, I think.
Okay. Alright. And most of clinician dekat think clinician di PPUM semua dah vaccinated. Yeah. Almost all the clinical student tahun 3, 4 dan 5 semua dah dapat vaccination. So they are safe to go to the ward. Even adalah case staff ataupun case student yang kena jangkitan COVID tapi dia punya simptom tak berapa teruk. So I think that is the good thing about vaccination. So yes, kena ada dapatkan vaccination yang baru boleh pergi ke ward, ambil certain risk, sebab memang pembelajaran memang kena jumpa pesakit lah.
There's always a risk daripada dulu pun. I mean, even without COVID, there's always a risk you're going to pick up some kind of weird disease from the wards. Scabies at the very least kan.
Yeah.
But now what they want to do is downgrade the, what's worrying about COVID is not getting the, flu symptoms, it's dying, being ventilated. And, evidence has shown that vaccination helps with preventing that. So yeah.
So it's good that other university also student dia dapat vaccination macam UiTM. So kita tak tahu daripada universiti yang lain macam mana kan, apa UPM dan UKM. Tapi so macam mana? Saya komen belajar di sekarang ni di dalam COVID ni, belajar depan komputer best ke? Senyum dia, tak nak jawab.
It's very stressful lah. Like I really prefer macam kita orang boleh pergi hospital, but still grateful macam although minimal macam exposure, clinical exposure.
So tak apa, don't worry, ni harap-harap sementara waktu je lah. And then Iqbal dia dah pro pakai Microsoft Teams lah dekat UM. UiTM pakai apa?
Same thing.
Teams, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So ni mungkin daripada Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi lah, kan? Bagi kita semua, so kena belajar online. Okay, so now let's move on to kita try kepada aktiviti co-curriculum lah. Cerita pasal belajar je kan, ramai orang student yang kat luar tu dia nak masuk medik tapi dia tahu memang kena belajar lah, kan. Tapi ada ke tak aktiviti selain daripada tak belajar? Kita start dengan UiTM lah. Kita sebab kita intrigue kan, kita tak tahu apa jadi kat UiTM ni. So sebab tu kita kena tanya
tempat dia pun bukan sebelah bangsa kan. Jadi pergi hijau.
For UiTM banyak juga lah. I mean for me I joined macam represented Selangor campus, UiTM Selangor campus for tennis, and then we also have MIBG for medical students.
Nama dia tu?
Medics Intervarsity Games. Yeah, macam it's sports lah between medical faculties around Malaysia.
Sounds macam kedai buah, MIBG sama juga.
MBG.
Tu MBG, okay. So ada aktiviti selain daripada belajar lah di UiTM?
Yes, of course. Banyak opportunities.
Okay.
Tapi you all duduk medical campus campur dengan other faculties tak?
For Sungai Buloh, there's only 2 faculties, which is perubatan dengan dentistry. Yeah, that's
Tapi yang hospital baru dekat where is that? Puncak Alam tu?
Puncak Alam.
So now it's operational, right?
It is, but for now, medical students are not yet allowed to go there untuk practice.
Okay, but what's the end game plan? Are they going to park all medical students in Puncak Alam nanti? Is that where medical school is going to be for UiTM?
I think yes, that is the plan. Tapi it's just unsure whether the college will be, the students will be macam duduk situ, kita tu je lah. But of course, in the future they will let us use the hospital for teaching.
Sebab kita ada ramai kawan-kawan kat sana. Macam Dr Iqbal. Dr Iqbal dia pernah kenal kan dia?
Yeah.
Dr Iqbal. Bukan Iqbal, nanti kau jadi doktor.
Iqbal
Medicine. Iqbal Medicine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that Iqbal. Dia lari sana?
Dia memang daripada sana
dia
lah.
Oh, masa dia masters dulu kat sini, is it?
So kalau Iqbal tu ada, nanti kita ni. Okay. Iqbal, ada aktiviti selain daripada belajar di UM ke? Ke kau memang nerd?
I think if like you ask most of the people who know me, I think nerd is like one of the last things you would call me. I'm more of a geek. No, I'm joking. No, like I think UM has never fallen short in terms of getting our studies. Like UM in terms of the co-curricular activities has been always much that banyak. They're like very diverse in what they do. Macam if there's one thing they haven't done, they want to do it just because they feel like they can. So in this time of COVID pula, we have seen a reduction. There is apa, inequality of the projects. Everything has to be online, everything has to be, but there are still projects. Macam for example in our college pun, we have around 29 online projects. So there's still a lot of projects to do. You can still participate and everything like that. But right now with the restriction of SOP, sports memang a downer lah sekarang. So but I occasionally do join a lot of projects. I try to keep myself busy with a lot of other things because I'm interested in music, sports and stuff like that. So
Okay. So macam saya ingat lagi dulu waktu medical student, saya dengan Dr Naz memang selalu buat banyak projek lah. Antara yang ingat Naz apa yang terkesan sikit lah.
Dinner.
Pre-COVID, we used to arrange college dinner. Every year ada satu college dinner. So sejak COVID ni tak ada lah.
Yeah. That was like a big headache in itself. Yeah.
True.
I mean, if are we talking about buddies nanti?
Belum, buddy kemudian.
Okay. Then there's something that needs to be done. Project macam-macam project at college lah. Apa benda tu for me, my spare time was spent when not in the college. We had this group of guys, the most muhibah group in the world, where we would just go and not really a good activity. I wouldn't advise it for most people. A bunch of guys pergi keluar cyber cafe, if you know what that is, main games kan. On a weekend. We started dekat Kelang, and then it was like masuk masa 9 o'clock malam, keluar tu makan breakfast lah basically. And then because it was Jumaat malam, Sabtu, we need to recover sleep, whole of Sabtu tidur, Ahad tu macam petang baru bangun. So it was horrible, really took a toll on our lives, but we did that until we grew up lah, which we never did sampai finally apa still buat. But I think it was a place to release tension. Another thing I did was I can't remember what year, maybe 4th year, me and a buddy of mine who's now a radiologist as well at UM, we had a computer repairing company. So naik motosikal, kita tepek that iklan dekat bus station, repair computer, and there were a lot of people yang ambil that slip yang nombor telefon, called us to repair computer. But the success rate was only like 50% sebab zaman dulu tak ada internet. So when you don't have drivers, you just don't, you can't download. Right? So what we basically dapat buat, kita format computer to clean, and then computer resolution teruk and tak ada driver for sound and printer. Yeah. So that was a disastrous business.
Yep. I remember waktu kita student lu, Nas, kita buka satu kedai makan di dekat Konvo. Dengan Mashita jadi dia tukang masak, and then Dr. Mashita is a urologist now. Yeah. So ramai yang cohort kita ni stay di UM dan kawan-kawan lah. So waktu convocation, if you remember, you pun Elida pada UM juga kan dulu, tak mengaku UM lah. So pernah tengok kan konvo sebelum COVID kan. So sempat juga tengok konvo sebelum COVID tu, kan ada kedai-kedai makan yang college buat tu kan.
Fescom,
Fescom. So kita waktu tu daripada 6 college kita buka kedai makan kat sana. So ambil giliran untuk ponteng kelas. Dan
ada orang AGE ke from that's the riskiest place in the whole of PJ to get food, because it's a bunch of students cuba masak kan. Kalau sedap tu dah cukup okey lah tu. AGE tu belakang kira.
So itu adalah satu kehidupan sebelum COVID. Selepas COVID ni kita tak tahu lagi macam mana. Convocation pun dah Tak tahu. So, Feskum bila tu?
I think this was in 2019. I think when I joined.
That is BC lah.
Yeah.
Tahun
Yes.
2019 BC before COVID. Nah, sekarang
Yeah.
kita AC lah after COVID. Okay. So ada satu soalan daripada Dr Syam kepada dua student kita ni. Apa yang Iqbal dan Elida buat untuk cuba compensate the inability to attend physical clinical session? Oh, soalan susah ni. Ini macam soalan exam ni.
Elida?
To compensate the inability,
tak apa, ni tak ada markah dalam exam. Jawab je.
Okay. There's no wrong answer. That's what we all say. Always say kan?
There's no wrong answer.
There's a bad answer, but there's no wrong answer.
I think mostly utilize like what's on the internet, macam YouTube. Since we can't hear murmurs, we go on YouTube. Macam tu je lah. Like do what we can and get anything we can from the internet, like the pictures, videos of the clinical examinations. Yeah.
Iqbal?
I can't say for sure like what I do to compensate, because we do have some physical clinical sessions. But that is true that we can't see all. Macam like murmurs pun memang susah nak cari sekarang, because I don't know why, because I have not found a single patient with murmur yet. It's either I don't know how to see atau like I haven't really found it. But macam you guys cakap, like internet has been a very good compensation method. We try what we do in our friends' rooms, like whenever we can't find patients to practice on, we just try to get the movement right. So whenever we do find an actual patient, we make sure everything we do is fluid enough to get every sign and symptoms that we want to elicit or find.
Yeah. Okay.
Practice. I think there's to some extent the internet can't replace clinical sessions. It's just impossible, I think.
But I think it's better to have internet. Just imagine, Nas, 15, 20 years ago, kalau COVID, what to do?
Yeah.
That
definitely.
I don't know what I'm going to do at that time.
First of all, we probably won't have a vaccine by then because communication is so slow, right? So we'll be, but probably everything won't seem as bad as well because you won't get information of what's going on in the UK right now, you know? So maybe there's a plus point as well. But about that, there's a good point about practicing with friends. Clinical assessment is very important, because I found that if you are trying to concentrate how to do, say, what's the most difficult one? I think recipe is quite difficult, right? Recipe, you have to do the full examination. If you're concentrating trying to get the examination correct, you're not going to listen to the abnormalities. It has to be autopilot. You know how people, when they drive a car, when they worry about the clutch, and if you know what a clutch is, and putting it into gear and all that, it will be like the worst ride of your life. But if you don't worry about that anymore, if it's just muscle memory, then you'll be a good driver. So don't underestimate practicing on friends and all that.
Yeah.
Dr. Syam kata kalau COVID 10 tahun, 15 tahun yang lepas, kita duduk main snake dekat handphone Nokia je lah.
Itu kalau ada phone.
Kalau tak ada
medical school, mana ada phone?
Zaman tu tak ada phone kan?
Zaman ada, tapi itu anak orang kaya. Kan?
Aduh, hai. Okay, so sekarang di college ada makanan semua ada? Elida?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Elida? Elida dulu.
Ada
Bagus
cafe downstairs.
Ada cafe.
Ada.
Yeah, so orang budak UiTM better taken care of lah.
I would say yes. Okay. Yeah.
Kesian Iqbal, dia nak naik bendera putih lah.
Oh, actually, we got 3 new cafes now.
Oh, wow. After we spoke last week.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Oh, okay. So, makanan apa? Barat, Selatan, Laksa Johor.
Right now, since the old cafes are moved out, we have nasi campur, we have Western food, and we have burgers juga. So
Okay.
the only thing we're lacking now is goreng lah, and that one is in the mud yang we also found already lah. So they're just setting up the kitchen.
Ya, zaman dulu ada satu kafe je kat situ. Nama dia Pak Abu.
Yeah.
I've
I've never
heard of
met
that.
this Abu guy, but that's where we went.
Ya.
I
Best
heard of this.
Ayam.
Yeah.
The
I've
ruins
heard
are
of
still
this.
there.
Yeah.
The ruins, the concrete base, the
Yeah.
kedai is still there.
Ya.
Now it's parking lot.
Yeah.
Ya.
So
Nasi air there is one of the best lah.
Yeah, we didn't really have much to compare with, right?
Ya. Compare dengan makanan di Six College lain lah. Macam langit dan bumi. Tapi adalah makanannya.
College punya makanan lah. Oh, it's okay.
Alright, okay. So sekarang ni kita move on to the next thing. Kita di UM ni ada satu tradition di medical faculty ni panggil buddy line. Nah, so kita tanya presiden college lah. Dia tahu tak apa buddy line ni? Yeah, yes, you are the only president college.
mana tahu like Dr Nazri was like old president ke apa. I myself am in the buddy system in UM.
Okay. So apa benda tu? Cuba cerita sikit dekat apa student yang nak masuk medical school ni ataupun Elida ni. Kalau orang tanya apa buddy-buddy ni?
So basically it's the buddy system is just a system where your seniors take up a junior buddy or particular junior. They just there are many ways you can go about this, whether you just have a gathering and just let the juniors pick the seniors or the seniors pick the juniors, but nonetheless you'll end up with a senior at the end. So this senior has another senior above him or her, and that senior also has another senior above them, and so on. So some buddy lines have been going on for a whole generation even. But some
There's no reason why it should stop, right?
Yeah,
The
but
buddy line.
honestly, buddy lines like what I see nowadays are like 5 years max. After that, they lose. They just die out, or they lose members, or they lost contact with the seniors. So yeah, but buddy lines usually last for at least, I think at most you'll have at least like 7 to 10 senior buddies.
So kita test sikit lah. So who's your final year buddy?
I currently do not have a final year buddy because
How can you become off?
No, it's not really cut off. Actually, one of my senior buddies, which was in final year supposedly, she failed 1 year, so she had to retake the previous year. So I now have 2 fourth year buddies.
Okay. So downline?
But
Down the line, I am currently the 3rd year, so I have 1 second year and another first year. The first year whom I have never met, but apparently
What?
I have one because because the first years have never been in college. So so I've never met her. I've spoken to her on a video call just when we were getting to know our buddies. My second year name is Bina, and my first year's name is Dina. So I'm starting to see a pattern. So I just hope it doesn't continue that way.
Okay. Naz, your buddy?
my buddy line. My buddy line. I don't know who is of the same buddy line in doing medicine right now. It should be there, but so how I know Fab is because 2 buddies above mine is Azrianti, who's Fab's wife now, who used to be the girlfriend. So Fab ni macam my buddy-in-law lah, so to say.
Buddy-in-law, okay.
Yeah, buddy-in-law. Well, my buddy line above me was a girl, Suri, and then Yanti was a girl, and then above that was a guy, Faisal, and above that was another guy. Tapi itu very senior. So yang dekat-dekat girls, and then I had a co-buddy who's also a girl. So there were like lots of girls in my close vicinity of my, year. So then I had Faisal as a buddy-in-law lah, so to say.
Yeah.
And then I think I know a few years down, and then after that, hilang.
Yeah, because you out of the system maybe waktu tu.
Yeah, out of the system. But there's no reason why it shouldn't have gone on and continued. Yeah. But what we get from this body line is, anything are tips and tricks, notes passed down, because exams, by and large, if you think about it, they'll be asking the same things. Okay, people will disagree with me, but I'm going to tell you that medicine is supposed to be easier than SPM. Okay, certainly easier than SPM, I think, because the things that they ask is going to be the same thing every time. I mean, they're not going to ask not going to be a COVID exam or whatever for MBBS, right? So, notes get passed down, past year questions or whatever, so you can practice on them. What kind of cases do you need to know, and all of it. What I learned from FAB, because of him being my buddy-in-law, is how to do mind maps. And never underestimate the use of mind maps. So when I was like fourth year, we did pharmacology in first year, right?
Yeah.
Was it first year? Yeah, first year. So first year there was like so many drugs, mind map. I knew all of them by name, what the group they were and all that, because you need to compartmentalize your information and all that. So yeah, so that's what we get. How to study, like basically how to survive in school.
Yeah. So I remember my buddy line is by default because my sister is my senior, so my elder sister automatically asked
Your sister did
down.
medicine?
Yeah.
I never knew this.
So my elder sister is Norhana. So and then after that Yusnida is above her, and then Kak Nurul, then me, and then Farida. I think your batch. Faridah Jabar. If you are on the internet now, hi buddy. And yeah. Then after that, I pun tak ingat dah siapa. Yeah.
This is news to me that you had a sister who was in medical school. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
When you were dating Yanti, her dad was the VC, was it? I mean, sorry, dekan.
Yeah. Yes.
See, dating anak dekan.
Okay. Itu cerita di luar di luar perubatan.
Okay.
Life as a medical student lah. Yeah. So it bound to happen. Tapi yang paling penting kena belajar lah, kan? Kena lulus exam ya, tu je. Nak bercinta tu okey, tak ada masalah. Cuma kena lulus exam lah. Because it bound to happen. We are young, hormonal and things like that. So, kan? And okay. Yeah. So kita pergi ke topik lain. Life outside medicine. Okay, kita tanya Iqbal. Iqbal, you are the president of college, 6 college.
Yeah, I am currently.
So basically, you are a politician.
Well, that is a general concept where it doesn't work here. Actually, like I would say, major politicians would be macam like apa? My main function in the college is make sure all is basically to have projects.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually enjoy being the president of the college because there's no politics.
Okay.
Yeah, but as I go on and like go dive into that, okay, basically on paper, there's two functions why the president exists. One is to make sure that there is always activity pelajar to ensure that the students' soft skills are always developed, not only in the academics but also in fundamentally everything else outside of academics. That's the whole function of the president. The second reason on paper is to jaga kebajikan pelajar. Now, to jaga kebajikan pelajar is where it tends to become a little bit politicized and stuff like that. So, yeah. But I honestly, to be honest, I did not like politics when I before medicine or anything. But currently, I realized that politics is a part of life, and you, like it or not, you still have to at least know about it and play your role somewhat. So, but president role itself is like it's more kepada, it's fun. Well, it used to be like before COVID, but now we try to make it as best as we can.
Alright. Elida, aktiviti di luar perubatan di UiTM?
I think I used to join like a students association dekat sini,
Mm-mm.
where you get opportunities to macam Iqbal have projects, tapi it's not college lah. It's more to like community, more to the reaching out to the community and volunteering and all that. And tu je lah.
Okay. Alright. So kita dah masuk ke last quarter. Kita nak bagi tahu sikit lah dekat potential student ataupun yang nak masuk first year medical medicine kat mana pun, ataupun yang first year dan second year lah, to your juniors ya. Ada apa-apa nasihat ke? Susah sangat ke nak masuk medicine ni? Susah ke nak belajar medicine? Nak masuk memang susah, tapi bila dah masuk tu susah ke nak belajar medicine? Nah, siapa nak jawab dulu? Iqbal ke apa?
Sorry, Elida, dipersilakan.
Elida dipersilakan. Kita bagi semangat sikit ke adik-adik ni.
Elida cakap senang. Lepas tu kan
I don't want to be responsible for that.
I wouldn't say it's easy. It's also nothing is easy. No course or degree is easy. So I think if you have the passion for it and you're willing to go through the challenges and willing to commit and be consistent, must be hardworking, then go for it.
Non-committal answer, safe answer. Okay.
political answer.
Yeah, political answer. Okay, Iqbal.
Right, it has been nice. No, but basically, I think more or less like what Elida said. I think this is a field which you yourself have to be sure that you want to dive into. If you're in it for the money, or there are more jobs which you can do to get a higher pay and less of a budget. But this itself is something macam. I think it goes back to like one thing I remember one of my colleagues told me that there are things which you have to do. This is fardu ain in Islam, which you have to do. But there are things which are fardu kifayah, which only you can do, and you're entitled to it. Once you have the ability to do something, I think it is your responsibility to do it. But if you are really, really passionate about saving lives, being there and not caring about working long hours, and that's something you strive for, what you want to do in your life, I think, by all means, join medicine. Be the best that you can in it. But if you're not, and you're just being forced to by your parents, or somebody told you, oh, you should do it, or your teachers are like, say, you have the mental capacity for it, but you don't want to do it, do it. There are many students who burn out because they don't have the passion for it. If you really want it, then you should. But if you don't, make sure it's your choice. Don't join medicine and go around saying, oh, my parents forced me to. You still have a choice. So yeah.
Okay. Naz? Regret taking medicine?
All right, you have to remember one thing dalam medicine. Like, I mean, again, there are many opinions, easy, difficult, and all that. The first thing is there is no competition. Once you're in medical school, there is no more competition. If you all do well, you all will pass. If you all do horribly, you all will fail. Maybe there's a bit of competition for that gold medalist kind of thing, but you know how many people are actually in it for the gold medal and all that. So there's no competition. Just plan your studies, plan your time. To me, I always know for every posting, I know what I need to know by the end of that posting and have to plan it. If it seems like an insurmountable challenge, I will have to start studying early, things like that. Just plan it. But do I think medical school was easy? I think secondary school was far more difficult, because medical school, they actually tell you which books, what are we going to ask, This is how you examine a patient, like your clinical exams. It really takes a lot of fumbling for you to fail. Think about it. So I don't think it's difficult. I think you just follow through is fine. It's much more difficult to get into medical school, right?
Yep, I agree with that. Totally. Nak masuk medical school memang susah. Tapi bila dah masuk, you tak ada competition. You dengan diri you sendiri je. Kalau you rajin, you belajar, you score. Kalau you malas, you fail. And siapa yang dah masuk kelas saya sebelum ni mesti akan ingat yang saya akan cakap satu benda. Saya kata medicine ni adalah satu subjek yang paling senang dalam dunia ni. Senang bukan apa, sebab dia tak berubah bagi saya lah, kan. Mata ada dua, tangan ada dua, kiri kanan, dan the whole generation manusia ni ada those anatomy and physiology. So dia tak akan berubah. Jadi kalau katakan kita belajar subjek lain, contohlah kalau kata nak buat dulu kapal terbang pakai papan dengan kipas boleh terbang lah. Lepas tu sekarang nak kena belajar pasal turbine, rocket fuel and things like that. So makin lama makin banyak benda nak kena belajar. In medicine ni, yeah. So komputer ni, badan manusia ni dia sama je. Daripada dulu sampai sekarang, sampai akhir zaman dia sama. Maksudnya the air that we breathe ni, udara yang kita hirup ni sama je, 21% daripada zaman dulu sampai zaman sekarang. Mana-mana yang kita tengok dalam movie tu science fiction lah. Boleh bernafas dalam air ke, the abyss kan, boleh. Tu semua fiction lah. Tapi in reality this is satu bidang yang sangat senang. Okay, ada satu komen. But got AI. But now
operation by robots.
To be honest, operation, I mean, the tangan tu mungkin dah jadi robot, tapi the operator still human being lah. Kita boleh buat remote dah sekarang ni. Cuma
I mean, even radiology, people are talking about AI diagnosis and all that. It's interesting sebab when you tell a computer to look for, what it is you kids know? Pneumothorax tahu, pneumothorax. Tahu tak? Okay, pneumothorax kan. Okay, they'll be able to detect it. You tanya komputer, ada pneumothorax tak? Okay, they probably will detect it. But katakanlah you send the patient punya X-ray to look for any lung pathology. That means anything under the sun. Susah. Every single pathology that they want to look for, they have to run through a different algorithm. And then there's this other problem. If the computer misses it, then who's going to be sued? Whose fault is it? So I think we still have a long way to go. And I think zaman sekarang AI maybe stick to stuff that humans really suck at. For instance, driving. We're very horrible at driving. And orang kata, how are you going to put driving into the hands of a computer? The computer doesn't need to be an excellent driver. They just have to be better than humans. And because humans are so bad at driving, the bar is set very low. So stuff like that, I think. I don't know. Maybe lagi 5 tahun, maybe I'll be eating my own words lah.
You heard it from the nerd. Yeah. Yeah. So, I agree with that. Totally. Sebab ada benda yang kita kena buat, ada benda yang robot ataupun AI boleh buat. Terutamanya macam kita lah sekarang ni belajar pakai komputer, pakai interfacing komputer kan, online. Tak best kan? Tak ada physical touch tu. So, something like that lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kita dah masuk ke last 10 minute. Kita tak ada komen lagi ni. Mungkin ini orang nak pergi tengok apa, ada lagi satu live show yang sekarang pukul 9 ni kan. Siapa dah tak apa. Anyway, ni ada permintaan daripada Prof Yazid malam tadi. Dia cakap promote lah dekat mana-mana kan. So kata okey lah Prof Yazid, saya promote dekat Facebook dekat malam ni lah. So saya nak cerita sikit, besok siapa-siapa yang nak masuk medicine di Universiti Malaya boleh ikut Facebook boleh ikut umvirtual.um.edu.my. Prof Yazid, kita punya timbalan dekan undergraduate, akan buat virtual open day. Dia akan buat presentation dan dia akan buat sesi soal jawab. So siapa nak masuk medicine ni melalui open channel, boleh tanya dia. Open channel ni apa maksudnya ialah bayar dia macam private entrance lah. The qualification tetap sama, tinggi, tapi dengan certain fee lah. So boleh tanya dia, tak kisahlah. Saya rasa siapa-siapa nak join ni boleh join lah. Tanya sebab dia ya.
Are you hosting it or
No. This is hosting it, tapi I dapat message daripada dia semalam, so I letak dekat Facebook. Fakulti pun share sebab kita tengah bercakap kenaan dengan nak masuk medicine dan life as a medical student kan. So boleh ikut besok pukul 2.30 hingga 3.30 petang. Ada di umvirtual.um.edu.my. Sesiapa parent, mak ayah yang nak anak dia masuk medik ataupun anak dia dah cakap menangis-nangis nak masuk medik ni, ni antara peluang dia.
Nak masuk nanti menangis pula. Fab, just to clarify, open channel means not the Asasi stroke UPU channel or who's it for?
Open channel ni dia sebab macam contohnya kita ada kuota untuk untuk Asasi, untuk UPU, matriculation, IB. So so pakai kelayakan yang sama, tetapi dia punya fee dia berbeza. Maksudnya full paying fee lah. So boleh tanya besok. Kita nak tanya timbalan dekan Prof Yazid, boleh tanya. So, ini soalan panas ni. What about
sangat ni.
What about contract worker issue? Dia orang ni belum habis belajar lagi. So, kesian dia orang. Jangan burdenkan dia orang, fikirkan pasal future yang yang tak tentu lagi. Bagi dia habis belajar dulu, lepas tu kita cakap kemudian. Ataupun tunggulah minggu depan ataupun lambat lagi ni kan. By the time you graduate, insyaAllah masalah ni dah selesai. Sebab saya rasa ni temporary issue je lah. Okay. Takut ke Bal masa depan?
I like to take things as it is, one step at a time. But I mean I think macam like once there's still a level of competence that you need to achieve, and once you get become an MO or the HO, so if you're good, you get a contract. If you're not, so maybe you won't get a contract. But that I actually have a question for Dr Faizal and Dr Nazri. What do you feel about the whole too many medical students coming out? How's your take on that issue?
All right. There are things that is under control. There are things that beyond our control. This is we consider as beyond our control. Kalau kita cakap sampai matahari naik besok pagi pun tak habis. So dia di luar bidang kuasa kita, sebab kerja kita adalah mengajar medical student bagi dia lulus dan jadi seorang doktor yang berkelayakan. So bila dah layak dan ada ilmu dan boleh menyelamatkan orang, insyaAllah bagi saya dia adalah seorang doktor yang selamat dan insyaAllah akan dipandang lah. Kalau tak selamat tu kan orang tak second option lah. So always be safe. Macam kita player lah, nak masuk kelab besar-besar kan, kena bagus, kena rajin bekerja dan ada credential lah. Okay, so sebagai pesanan terakhir, one round, kita punya topik hari ini adalah, cuba kita tengok balik, cuba ingat balik, life as a medical student. dahulu dan sekarang. Iqbal, satu round lagi. Macam mana? Enjoying your life?
Dahulu dan sekarang.
Yeah.
Is that like
Your jawapan is sekarang lah.
Okay, I see. Dahulu is for you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really
enjoy.
I really do enjoy medicine. Yeah.
Okay. Good. And Elida?
Yeah, I do. And to those yang nak masuk, like someone once said, get your degree while living your life. So macam, do that and have fun doing medicine.
Okay. Naz? Oh, kita ada...
Prof Yazid.
Prof Yazid tu dah ada. Okay, Prof Yazid, saya dah sampaikan amanah. So besok sedialah menerima beribu-ribu soalan dan jawapan. Boleh minta admin panjangkan sikit sesi soal jawab nanti. InsyaAllah ada ramai yang nak masuk UM ni. So kita cuba. Yeah. Alright. Naz, dulu dan sekarang?
Wah, dulu I think I just realized that, actually during medical school, I always hated pre-exam times. Like, hate it so much. Because there's always a risk of failing. I always thought I was going to fail. Never did, but I always assumed I was going to fail. And then afterwards, now thinking back, senang. So I don't know. It all seems nice now to me. I don't remember the pain in medical school. Maybe it's selective memory or whatever. So
okay. I think it's benda tu semua orang pernah rasa. Bila kita dah pass through that event yang susah tu, semua nampak senang.
Benda senang.
So sebab tu sekarang saya boleh kata senang.
SPM is susah. I still think SPM is susah.
Yeah. Alright, Dr. Syam, Dr. Nadia kata great session. Dr. Syam kata keep it up. So pada semua potential student yang nak jadi doktor di Malaysia, insyaAllah fikirkan cabaran-cabaran yang akan ada di masa depan. Nak masuk medical school tu memang susah, tetapi lepas dah dapat peluang masuk ke medical school tu, insyaAllah there's no other competition. You masuk marathon, so you sendiri yang kena habiskan marathon tu, dan tak ada orang yang akan kata dia marathon nombor 1, nombor 2, semua akan balik dengan satu medal, tulis itu MBBS ataupun di UiTM kita tak tahu degree apa.
MBBS also. Yeah.
Oh, MBBS juga. Kita MBBS Malaya lah. Okay, sebab tu. Okay, so insyaAllah dan kepada semua yang nak masuk medicine, kita cadangkan selamat berjaya. Dan yang dah dalam medicine ni, study hard, but don't forget about your life. Enjoy your life. Sebab benda tu akan membantu dalam kehidupan kita nanti selepas tu. Tu, body line dah jawab.
Buddy, itulah Azri Anti itu. Itulah my buddy.
Yeah.
My buddy.
Alright, okay. Dengan itu kita akhiri.
Is Dr. Azri Anti from endocrinology?
Yes, pediatric endocrinology professor, associate professor Azri Anti.
She's my Professor Anti is my supervisor for pediatrics.
Okay, sebab tu hari tu ada cerita-cerita semua sampaikan. Budak ni, oh ya ke?
Dah dengar dia tak senyum dah, panik.
So, that's why I give you a call the other day. No, not you. Kata budak pediatrik kan, yang kena ada. So anyway, okay, so thank you for coming to the forum. Thank you for spending time with us. dan kita akan akhiri majlis dengan Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi dan selamat malam pada semua. Yep. Right, so jumpa lagi insyaAllah Bal, college di PPUM, Naz and Elida insyaAllah jadi houseman. Kalau UiTM tak ada, minta UM lah insyaAllah.
Lepas tu tukar lah, buatlah masa dekat UM.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam.